Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. This is John with Tommy's Top Picks here to bring you your weekly flesh and blood market update. It is a quiet week again. Sorry, guys. It's been a month of this. I guess that's not too unusual. We're past the big tournament stuff, on to Road to Nationals. Which is more localized, I'd say. Still tournament-y, but more localized. So it's the card hype and that sort of thing kind of dies down during this period. Also, spoiler for Dusk Till Dawn, we've gotten a few here and there, little teasers and such, which have been great. And we'll talk about some cards related to that in a second. But yeah, mostly everyone's kind of on the breath between the last set and the new set, and we see quiet markets in those times. I will say this is historically more quiet than usual. Take a look at the heat map, right? Oh, sorry, you can't see my mouse. Take a look at the heat map here. Very quiet period. This is probably the most quiet period before then, or most recent quiet period before then, rather. And then going back, there just aren't that many periods like this that I have in the history. And it's kind of interesting to, now that we've collected all this data, to really just look at the heat and cold periods. Like clearly this was a downtrend right here, right? You can just kind of see the colors as they go by. Cold period, and it started to heat up, get real hot. It's cooling off again, right? It's the cool thing about a heat map. You can actually kind of see what's happening in the market. And then of course we have this down dip cooling area, which, to be fair, it's not a lot of blue either. It's flat, which is a very interesting new dynamic, something worth keeping an eye on, and I guess enjoying the beauty of data. So we're in this period. It's a subdued period. It's a quiet period. It's not a cold period, which is cool. It's cool that it's not cold. I like it. I think it's great to have a subdued period where things just kind of sit flat. That's a great time to be in a hobby like this and to have investments in this sort of thing, because in the less hype period, typically things drop. And they're not dropping. They're holding steady, generally speaking. So let's jump into it. Let's go through the boxes. But kind of cool. It very much says we're in a new phase with Flesh and Blood. Again, unprecedented in the history of my price tracking. Maybe there was a period way back, but I've been doing this for some year now. Year plus, 2 years. I don't know. What was my first update? Was February 2022. So yeah, you're just slightly short of a year and a half of data. This is the first time we've had a quiet period. We've had dips, but we haven't had quiet periods. So very cool. I like it. All right, so let's jump into it. Unlimited boxes. Tales of Aria's up 6.9% to $62 a box from $58. Nothing too crazy there. We've seen some craziness happen in this, and we are not seeing it today. It just moved up a little bit from a down trend a couple weeks ago. We'll look at the chart. I think this is the Brontosaurus. I believe this is the Brontosaurus. So we'll see what the Brontosaurus is doing now. Putting his head back up, I guess. Moving down to first edition boxes. ARC is down 10.42% to $2,020. That is shipped from $2,255, which I believe no sales happened at this range. So I just think it was a little overpriced and people are looking for a discount. This hasn't sold yet either, so I'm not really surprised about it. I imagine these will eventually disappear just because they are a rare product. There is only a few listings left of them, so but that price is starting to get kind of hard to say no to. I think anything under 2,000 is probably a steal of a first edition ARC box, assuming it's not been like drop kicked across the room. That's it. That's all we got. Oh, sorry, I lied. Honorable mention. Dynasty down, first edition case down 4.97%, so almost a 5%. This is almost blue, but it's not blue. And I do believe, aside from this one here, this week here, this is the second most quiet week we've ever had, with only 2 things hitting the heat map. Very interesting. I find this fascinating to see. I'm a data nerd. I apologize. I did want to give a shout out to a guy named Paul from Texas that did a big buy from us the other day. I bought a bunch of stuff. I'm assuming he's a fan because he's the first person to buy, like, I don't know, it was like 12 cards from our shop. Usually that's not a thing people do, but Paul, if you're out there listening, thanks for the purchase. Really appreciate it. All right, let's go through some cards and then we'll jump into the charts. This theme is going to be around Dusk Till Dawn. some stuff that other content creators have been hyping and talking about. Shout out, to DM Armada, Stackswell, Red Zone Rogue, bunch of people. A lot of people have been talking about this stuff, so all of them, give them the credit. I just wanted to look at the market dynamics on the things that they have talked about and where it is now and what's kind of going on. So consider it like an update on other people's content. Go check out their content. They're all awesome. So yeah, Soul Food, this has been talked about a lot. I think it hit the Twitter sphere. I'm not on Twitter so much, but this one is one of those that works with the new Prism apparently pretty well, because every time Herald or an Angel, I think, hits her soul, she triggers the Figment thing, which we don't know what that is yet, but assuming it's like Ash or something like that, some power happens basically. So this card will be pretty interesting as an option to put the whole hand in there and triggering it, 4 times, 3 times, because you'll pay for this, right? Or you'll drop this to play it. I guess you could play it from Arsenal and technically do it 4 times. Point being, it has an interesting future. That said, the first edition Rainbow has jumped quite a bit. I mean, we're talking from $1 to $2 all the way up to $8. And this is the part that I found interesting. There's only 5 on the market, and there's only one more at $14 before it jumps to $30. Is this real? I don't know, because frankly, Monarch Majestics weren't exactly uncommon, as I recall. Let me know in the comments if I'm wrong on that, but just definitely, I feel like I have a bunch of Soul Foods. Now, I don't know that I have the first edition Rainbow, right? So this being a foil makes it obviously more rare. And so looking at this and saying, okay, $20 card, is it really worth it when it was $2 like a month ago? I don't know. It might be, because we're running out. Like one more of these and then you're at 30, and there's 3 of those, and then you're at 45, and then you're out. So this market has eaten up this card, in particular the shiny one, and we know Prism players love to bling out their decks. So assume that's going to be blinged out. Blessing of the Cult. This one's kind of a sleeper, I think. DM Armada called this one out specifically the other day, talking about Runesett, and I think the rest of these are Runesett related, because that's kind of where my mind is. If you heard Tommy and I go on and on about Runesett, you know that we're wondering how it's going to work. We did have a conversation after our last video that we were talking about it, and we brought up some concepts around making her fully defensive and what that would do. And so that makes me think of this OTK strategy and how that would work. And I think it's doable, because you're forced to block with most of your hand, build a rune chant. You can hold on to one card. You're forced to drop it in Banish Zone. It can even be a defense reaction or something that's not a Rune Blade card or Blood Debt card or whatever. And by doing that, you're still creating a rune chant. Now, I think that's inefficient. I think there's ways to make that smarter. And I think DM Armada is kind of onto it. He put out that video about it. And so I've been noodling on this. This is one of the cards he thought up. I think it's interesting. An aura that builds rune chant tokens. If you're doing that OTK thing, this is going to be played. I don't know if this is a good value. Rainbow Foil's at 21 cents plus 99 cents shipping. So it's really cheap right now. If it ends up being core to the gameplay, it's going to go up really fast. It is only a rare, though, so keep that in mind. From a speculative standpoint, it's not the best spec. It's also from Dynasty, so it's recent. There's lots of them. Dread Triptych. This is another one that's pretty cool. Call out to DM again. He's at the end of his video. If you didn't get to the end, it's really funny. He's like, wait, is that Runesett? Is that Runesett? I think we just discovered Runesett. She's been in here this whole time since crew. That's Runesett, isn't it? It was really funny. It was awesome. Point being, this market price has gone up quite a bit. First edition Rainbow Foils at $14. They're sitting at $10 for a long time, but that was their low. And if you look at the history of it, right, these first edition Rainbows came down from 30, so we're still at a bit of a discount range. Thought that was interesting to point out. There is a number of them on the market still, so you still have, I don't know, 5, 10, call it 15, 16 on the market, but not that many. And considering it was above $30 in its lifetime, in the last year even, a lot of these are pretty good. I would say these are kind of grabs at this point, assuming it goes well with Runesett. But if she's in the art, you gotta imagine this is going to work well with her. If nothing else, just because of the mechanics of this card, I think it's going to work well with her. Crew Majestic and foil, they are not that common. You got to remember that. That's pretty interesting. And this is first edition Rainbow Foil. Secondary to that, you might want to look at the unlimited rainbow foils. They're a lot cheaper if you're on a budget, which is totally reasonable, but you still want to collect stuff. $5-6 for these, and they will probably go up as well, just because that's what happens when something gets hyped. And again, crew, there were not that many. Moving on, this one is just bonkers. Sorry, that thing was popped up. This one is just bonkers. So I wanted to point it out. It's at $30 for the rainbow foil. This is a promo card. It's the full art. We could see this playing in Runesett. In Vincent. Runesett. Okay, that's her new nickname, Runesett. Played in Vincent. It costs 1 less to play for each rune chant, so it's going to be free. Basically, every time it creates a rune chant, and it's a defense reaction. So it's just all the things she wants, and she'll be good at using it. And it's a full art. There are multiple colors of this one, I think, or the other one, because I think there's 2 different versions of these promos. Double check that for me. But the point is, this is $30, and there's only the last one that's $30. History is selling around that price. Let's go to it. What's this? A rainbow foil? Not because there's no additions. It's a promo. Is it just rainbow foil? Let's see. Yeah. Okay. No, that's fine. Are there actually additions? I don't know if I even need to do that. Yeah, it was down here earlier in the month, like $10 up to 30. But I think. Oh, it doesn't go any further. I think historically it was actually higher. Let's see if the chart shows it. Nah, yeah, it was $20 historically back a year ago. So yeah, it's come down quite a bit since then, and now we're looking at it above and beyond that. So we're selling at 25, and we're above all those levels now on this last one. But there's only 2, and that's it. None on the market. So if you're into the promos, this is probably a grab, or if you have it, it might be time to think about selling it at a much higher price, because there won't be any on the market soon. Rattlebones, this is just pure synergy with what she wants to do. I think it's pretty cool capability. It's also crew, majestic, so somewhat rare. Unlimited rainbow foil is at the 22 range and rising. You can see that's going up really fast compared to what's happened with the other ones. And then the first edition rainbow foils even faster and even higher. I wanted to show you that specifically. There's only 5 left, or 5 sellers left on the market, so it's about 11 on the market. Next few, 3 we'll say, are in the 30s range, and then it jumps 40 and 50 really quickly. So I think this one's going to spike as well, and there's no around it. It's already started to spike. Just something to keep in mind if you are interested in collecting for this. All right, back to the charts. Interesting stuff. I really enjoy Runesett. I think she's going to be interesting. I was like, I don't understand how she works. The more I thought about it, the more I heard other people talk about it. Got my brain going on it. Not particularly well versed in rune blade, so it was an alien place for me to explore, and now I'm starting to understand it. Seems really interesting. All right, moving on to the charts. Let's see. Let's just keep it quick, because we have Tails, we have Arc, and that's about it. Dynasty, I guess. So I'm assuming in Unlimited there's not much to talk about. Yeah, everything's just sidelining, which is awesome. That's great. We're at a flat on Mon. Yeah, everything's just sidelining. It's great. This is what you want to see. This is cool. It's cool to have a cooling off period that doesn't actually cool off. It just stays flat. That's nice. That says something about this this TCG. Interesting one here on Arc. This is the premium is continuing to go above. This is coming down. This means, well, I guess because of the first edition stuff and the cases are really hard to come by now, it's not impossible for this to diverge like this for a while, but it is something to note that there's probably a value drop that should be appreciated here at some point. This is actually listed. This isn't a one that there's no listings for, so that price is actually buyable. But this is really low, I think, for where it is. We'll see if it bounces back up. I imagine if it drops below 2,000, people are going to buy it. I'd be shocked if they didn't. I mean, unless it was drop kicked or something. We don't know. All right, crew. Coming over the edge. Oh, we didn't look at our favorite. It was Tales of Art, is the Brontosaurus. Yeah, nothing crazy there. Man, none of these have done anything but gone sideways. Sideways flat for Mon. Here's our Brontosaurus. Yeah, Brontosaurus is lifting its head a little bit. Oh, that was Unlimited, wasn't it, that I was looking at? The Brontosaurus is the first edition, okay? First edition tail is the Brontosaurus. We got to know that. Yeah, it's really quiet. There's nothing but sideways movement here. I just wanted to check these real quick. Okay, here's one that's different. Look at that. The box price on Uprising has risen back to map. Yeah, that's not interesting. Okay, I think we're done here. Let's look at Dynasty. Down 5%. Yep, down 5%. Just, it's Dynasty. It's slowing down. We're on to another supplemental set, so it's going to get to its lows at this period, which is an interesting time to pick up your Marvels and stuff, which I did. I finally finished my Marvel collection. They will probably continue to go down, but I'm one of those people that's okay not catching the exact bottom. I don't mind getting punched in the face, as Rudy likes to say, once I buy things. And it looks like we're in a market where that will happen for some of the individual collectible items. But it's great to see this staying flat instead of dropping across the market. All right, that is it for today. I hope you guys are out there cracking packs, playing games, getting hyped for Dusk Till Dawn, because we're about to have preview season so soon. I cannot wait. Oh man, I cannot wait to see what these rune gates and all the rest of the new mechanics. What the heck is a figment? I mean, and there were some goofy tokens that we're looking at, the ones that come up when you do the the defend the unity ability, and you can hand out tokens to your friends. That's pumping for the PvE component. Cannot wait for that. I'm excited. Anyways, hope you guys are out there having fun and playing these games and enjoying this hobby that we love. Until next time, have a good one.